It's hard to see amid the stormy conflict with since Joe Manchin and Sinema, but the elongated Democratic standoff over President Joe Biden's economic agenda shows how far the party consensus has moved toward a more aggressive role for government than during the presidencies of Bill Clinton or even Barack Obama. The intractable disagreements with Manchin and Sinema about the size and scope of the economic package have produced weeks of ugly deadlock among Democrats, and Manchin's unexpectedly harsh denunciation of the party's sweeping economic development and social safety net bill on Monday points to possibly more weeks of conflict, with no guarantee that he will ultimately support the plan and allow it to pass. But while the continuing resistance from Manchin and potentially Sinema could still derail the key elements of Biden's domestic agenda, many Democrats from across the party's ideological spectrum say the process has revealed less a fundamental fissure between left and center than the challenge of coping with the unique and sometimes opaque resistance from two senators empowered with personal veto power by the Senate's 50-50 split. You've got a situation where, by and large, all but two of the congressional Democrats now agree on how to proceed, says former Senate Majority Leader Tom Daschle, a South Dakota Democrat. But you've also got a situation, because of the narrow margins, where every single one of those people have a veto. Two of them are using their veto power effectively to accomplish their agenda and to drive the entire agenda. I mean entire. There are others who have had some ability to do that as well, but it's really two that are driving the agenda. The disagreements among Democrats haven't been entirely confined to Manchin and Sinema. A broader range of House moderates quietly supported their push to reduce the cost of the package from the $3.5 trillion preferred by liberals, less because they opposed the new spending than because they believed the new taxes required to fund it would spur backlash. And the resistance extended beyond the two senators to providing Medicare with expansive new authority to negotiate for lower prescription drug prices, and especially for creating an expensive new dental benefit in the system. Many House moderates also share Manchin's frustration over the tactical choice by House liberals to block consideration of a bipartisan infrastructure plan until he and Sinema explicitly endorsed the broader economic plan. But even with those differences, the struggle now largely pits just those two senators against a wide spectrum of other Democrats, ready to move forward on both bills, and comfortable with a concentrated burst of new federal activity unmatched since the Great Society in the 1960s. While a substantial minority of congressional Democrats opposed Clinton's budget plans and even the Affordable Care Act under Obama on several of the issues that have stalemated Democrats this time, such as raising corporate and personal tax rates, establishing a new system to push utilities to shift from fossil fuels to renewable energy, and creating a new paid family leave program, Sinema or Manchin may be the only Democratic opponent in either chamber. The vast majority of everybody is on board, and we've got a guy from one of the states in the country, Manchin of West Virginia, who is trying to represent his people, and we have a very idiosyncratic other senator, Sinema of Arizona, says Matt Bennett, Executive Vice President for Public Affairs at Third Way, a centrist Democratic group. It's just a lot to balance. Likewise, Adam Green, co-founder of the liberal PAC, the Progressive Change Campaign Committee, says, "It feels a lot different now than it did during the early Obama administration days, when we had different parts of the party pulling in polar opposite directions. Right now, some are rowing more quickly, but we are rowing in the same direction." 96% of the Democratic Party was for most of the provisions that progressives were pushing for. One Democratic senator, who asked for anonymity to discuss internal caucus deliberations, says the fundamental challenge in this negotiation is that Manchin, if not necessarily Sinema, would probably prefer not to pass any reconciliation bill at all. "It's nonsense," the senator said, for Manchin to claim, as he did Monday, that no one wants to compromise with him given that the bill's cost was cut in half largely to meet his objections. But Manchin, the senator added, feels that he's compromised plenty already because he'd say I'm at zero, meaning he would be content passing no reconciliation bill at all. I believe him if he says, I'd rather go home to West Virginia and say I'm not passing anything, the senator added. In private or public, when it comes to the reconciliation bill, Manchin never says anything positive about it. He doesn't like it, but apparently he's decided he doesn't want to destroy the Biden presidency, which I'm grateful for.